get off well.
Greetings, viewers! Natada here with another review for you. Last year I reviewed an episode of an anime called Outlaw Star from Sunrise Studios. And today, I'm going to review an episode from another Sunrise Studios anime, Cowboy Bebop. If you were an anime fan growing up in the 90s, you would know exactly what Cowboy Bebop is. But if you weren't, I'll fill you in. Due to an accident with something called the Hyperspace Gateway, Earth has been left completely uninhabitable, and humanity has had to migrate away to the deepest parts of outer space, and had to colonize every planet and moon that can support life. So I'm guessing there are plenty of planets that have oxygen, since nearly every planet in the show has a crap ton of people living on them. But you know what they say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And one of those things is that there's a shit ton of crime going on in space. Because the police are basically a non-entity, bounty hunters called cowboys seem to be the main means of wrangling these criminals. There's even a TV show centered around criminals with a bounty on their head. This series focuses on former hitman Spike Spiegel, voiced by Steven Bloom, his partner Jet Black, voiced by Bo Billingsley, the stowaway crew member Connors, Faye Valentine, voiced by Wendy Lee, and eccentric girl genius hacker Edward Wong, voiced by Melissa Phan. There's also I'm, a corgi that possesses super intelligence. The crew travels around in a spaceship called the Bebop, seeking out planets they can make money on, and more often than not, the episodes tend to be one-off stories rather than a continuing storyline. The entire series is really just about 5 characters floating around in space, with 3 members of the crew having some form of personal baggage they're trying to move on from. Like last year, the episode I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorite filler episodes, Mushroom Samba. The episode starts off with revealing that there's pretty much nothing to eat, since someone apparently ate the last container of food. Faye reveals that they haven't eaten for 2 days and the ship is nearly out of fuel, so things are getting, just a tad desperate. So desperate, in fact, the adults try to jump Ed for a measly little peanut. Before our fight can start for said peanut, however, they're hit by another ship. Jet tries to make contact with whoever's outside, but the ship just flies off. The hit and run was more than just a minor inconvenience, however, since it actually knocked the Bebop off Jet's intended course, and they crash on the desert planet. Oh, seriously?
Look at this. Where are we? There's nothing here.
That's the least of our troubles.
We're gonna need to check the whole ship. Think you could hunt up a little food, Faye? What's wrong?
It hurts. I got a pain.
This a joke. These rations expired a year ago.
It's a good thing I didn't eat them.
With that little non-mystery out of the way, Jet and Spike attempt to fix the ship.
Ed will help.
That's not helping. Jet suggests that maybe Ed should go look around to see if there's any source of food. At first there seems to be nothing around, until Ed sees the ship that ran into the Bebop and runs after it. This results in Ed and I discovering a melon truck on a long, winding road.
1,000 wulongs each. That includes the tax. Cash only, no credit cards accepted.
Don't have cash.
Then you don't get no melon.
What? 1,000? Are you kidding me? Okay, so wulongs are the currency of this series, and while I never really paid that much attention to it when I originally watched the show, 1,000 for a single melon is literally highway robbery. Granted, from what we've seen so far on this rock, melons might be a precious commodity, but I could also possibly buy a 1-story house for $1,000. All might seem lost for Ed until a woman drives up to buy her own melon. For whatever reason, Ed and I climb into the trunk of her car. Just a little PSA here. Don't try this at home, kids. You aren't Edward, nor do you have her insane amount of luck. The woman, named Coffee according to the Bebop wiki, drives for what seems to be an entire mile to a little town. Oh look, policemen. They're looking for the latest bounty, Ed, but what they find is Ed and I in the trunk of the woman's car, and Coffee gets arrested. But Ed can't really be bothered to care about that, and so continues her quest for food with Ein. She succeeds, only to find someone else seeking it. Ed and this man are then approached by a dude named Schultz, who's been dragging around a white coffin.
Huh? Ha! Now don't tell me that you've forgotten who I am so soon, Domino.
Let's see.
Think, damn it! I'm the youngest Shaft brother. We bought all those mushrooms from you.
I don't remember you.
No? Do you want to know why I drag an empty coffin like this wherever I go, huh? I'll tell you, because I'm putting your corpse inside it.
Pieces all gone.
What with who?
I love that. This character clearly wants to be taken seriously, but clearly no one does. And I think the sound Schultz makes when this coffin is destroyed just adds hilarity to the scene. So, why is Schultz after Domino? Apparently his brother ate a mushroom he bought from Domino, and he died laughing as a result. Which is a real thing that can happen, by the way.
Edward is hungry.
Yeah? Then eat this, fool!
No!
Hey! Get your butt back here and fight like a man, you fool!
Food. Hey, wait a minute, Ein. We have to share and share alike. Huh? Ein? Bad mushroom?
Time of death, 7:18 a.m., February 2020. No, but for whatever reason, Ed takes at least 3 of the mushrooms back to the ship, watches her crewmates eat them, and then, this happens. Yeah, by this point it's pretty clear the mushrooms are meant to induce a psychedelic high. If anyone remembers this episode, it's mainly for the meme sass of Spike's trip.
Hey, mister. This here is the stairway to heaven. You know that, don't you?
Obnoxious little frog.
Turns out, Domino has a big bounty on his head, and Ed not only identifies him as the hit and run dude from earlier, somehow, but decides to capture Domino and collect his bounty so they can buy food. Elsewhere, Coffee's being interrogated by one of the officers who arrested her, and he leaves her unsupervised while taking a call, and doesn't take her car keys with him. How do you have a job? Coffee sees Ed zip by on a scooter and takes off after her for reasons. Same thing when Schultz sees her. Why? Who knows? Maybe they think Ed's gonna lead them to Domino, which she kinda does, since she finds his ship.
I'm sure they never dreamed I was raising these riding here.
You, sir, are a criminal genius. Ed manages to get into his ship, and how is an oldie but goodie?
Who the hell are you?
What are you doing in here?
That's my line, kid. How'd you sneak into my ship anyway?
The door was open.
Huh?
I love it. What happens next is just about as insane as you'd expect. Ed attacks Domino by spraying him with stink gas, although she falls prey to it herself. Domino is convinced Ed's crazy and makes a break for it, with Ed and Ein right behind him. Schultz spots Domino as Domino escapes on a passing train, hijacks the nunchuck from her to pursue the train, and is pursued by Ed on her scooter. Schultz climbs up one side of the train, while Coffee arrives and attempts to shoot 2 goons with 1 bullet, nearly knocking Schultz off. Ed manages to get on the train, and Ein tackles Domino, grabbing the bag of mushrooms he has with him. The tug of war ends in Ein's favor. Domino loses his grip, and the bag Ein was gripping hits Schultz, knocking him off the train and sending him crashing into Coffee's car. They're probably fine. And now it's just Domino, cowering in fear of a 14-year-old girl. The whole conflict comes to an end when the speeding train stops in front of a cow, sending Domino and Ed flying off the train, and Ed landing on Domino. Domino offers Ed the mushrooms he was carrying if he lets her go, saying they're worth way more than his bounty, which he agrees to. I guess this is just one of those times where the crook gets away with everything. Rather than sell the mushrooms, however, Ed brings them back to the ship. Thankfully, the cruise high is over, and after a passing police officer examines the mushrooms, it's revealed that they're just ordinary mushrooms, and the crew finally has enough to eat, ending the episode. This episode is a ton of fun, and I think it's easy to see why. Cowboy Bebop is one of those animes that doesn't delve too deeply into comedy, episodes focusing instead on its stories and characters, but when the writers choose to do something for the sake of comedy, they really have fun with it. This is definitely one of the funnier episodes, and it's mainly due to Ed running into Domino. I originally saw this episode back when I was in high school, and didn't really get the joke about the mushrooms until much later, but now I can really appreciate that the writers were able to combine subtle humor with all the craziness that came after. I think the humor of this episode also has to do a lot with Ed and how Melissa voices her. I would certainly recommend watching this episode for yourself. With all that said, this is Night Eye saying thanks for letting me share my thoughts. Please share yours with me.